All right, so hello everyone and happy almost November. I'm Nisa Torres, Marketing Manager at Popfizz Computer Science, and thanks for joining today's webinar, Remote CS Learning Activities using Popfizz free courses and resources. Throughout this webinar today, we'll show you how to access free courses and go through a series of hands-on lessons you can easily implement in your classroom the next day.
All right, so this is our CS pathway, and all of our courses, we take the project-based learning approach with computational thinking at the core. And we make sure that the skills that students learn as they progress through the CS pathway, it's transferable. So these are our courses. The ones in pink are the physical computing courses using microbit and Raspberry Pi. We also have coding intensive courses such as Python turtle graphics, 3D graphics with JavaScript, Intro to CS with Python, and our College Board endorsed AP courses. And next year, we'll be launching Intro to CS with JavaScript and cybersecurity. So those are coming soon. So here is a chart that shows you what's completely free and what's partially free. We'll look at each course and find you a course that you can start using right away. So the ones you see in the yellow or orangish yellow, the Python turtle graphics, Intro to physical computing with microbit, creating 3D graphics with JavaScript. These are completely free. And the ones that are in sort of the lighter yellow, these ones are partially free. So they're about 35% open. So feel free to try them out. And let's take a look at each one. So here we have the Python turtle graphics course. And we recommend this course for the teachers and students who are looking for a bridge course to help students advance from a block-based coding tool to a text-based programming. In this course, students learn geometry and Python, and they program the turtle to draw these graphics. So they would answer questions like, what's the most efficient way to create a square? Can you use random? Put those random elements into your graphics. And this course is also available in Spanish. The next one, creating 3D graphics with JavaScript. This course combines creativity and logic to make interactive 3D objects using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So JavaScript's a lot more fun when you combine it with web elements. And this mini course allows students to ultimately experiment with JavaScript objects. And along the way, students will learn how to create basic website and work with CSS to style the HTML elements. JavaScript can be a little challenging, but we saw that students really dig into it and they spend hours making really elaborate designs and interactivity. The next one is the introductory course for physical computing. And this course explores how to create programs that interact with the physical world. We start by programming using MakeCode. So it's all block-based to begin with. And then you progress to Python. Using Python, you'll program the same thing that you created using the block code, plus a little more. There are dozens of projects that students will work on. And it's a great course to help students discover creative ways to solve real-world problems and get them excited about coding. Okay, so here are the trial courses. And the first one here is the Raspberry Pi course. And Raspberry Pi is often referred to as the Swiss Army knife for makers. You can make all sorts of projects out of these. And in this course, students are given step-by-step instructions on how to use Python to control the Pi and how to wire it up so that you can create amazing projects. For this course, students learn enough Python so that they can manipulate the Pi, and we'll learn the basics of circuits. We put a lot of emphasis on this part because learning the fundamentals, it really pays off later on. So for example, if students get stuck with a project, they don't know how to wire it correctly, that knowledge they have will help them troubleshoot it better. Also, we deal with creating projects using input and output components. For example, motion sensors, light sensors, buttons, Pi camera, and all sorts. And also, there's a newly added chapter in there, which we have students program Raspberry Pi Minecraft. So they use Python to do that. And then at the end, they will have the virtual world interact with the physical world. Pretty fun. So that's the Intro to CS with Raspberry Pi and Python. And then next is the Intro to CS with Python. So this is coding intensive. As you may already know, Python is one of the most popular programming languages out there. And that's because it's very simple, right? The syntax is very simple and it's got tons of modules to really extend your project. And in this course, students will learn the basics of programming to create dozens of projects. So they'll use concepts like variables, loops, conditionals, nested loops, modules to create a lot of projects. Something exciting that's happening in a few weeks. So Pygame module is going to be supported, which means that your students are going to be able to create really awesome games using Pygames. And that's coming the second week of November. And once that comes, we'll let you know. If you're not yet following us or subscribed to our newsletter, please do. All right, so the next one is the APCSA and APCS principles, and the description is very simple. So we're College Board aligned and endorsed. Here are the features that you are able to use with those courses. So there are many, many videos, and they're bite-sized animated ones so that it's not boring, very short, covers difficult concepts, and make it seem very easy. So that's the point of animating those videos. And we have hundreds of questions, and each question has a detailed solution guide and explanations and hints. So when students get stuck, they don't have to run to you first. They will look at the hint. If they still need help, they can look at the explanations and so on. And we have auto grading embedded. So if you are in our APCSA course, 95% of the projects are auto-graded. In the more open-ended PBL courses, such as Intro to CS with Python, I think there are maybe 20% of the projects are auto-graded. The rest are open-ended for you to take a look. The feedback tool is very easy to use, and I'll demonstrate that in a bit. And also, you can track your student progress at multiple levels. So the graph that you see on the right side, it's the high level view. You get to see the rhythm of your students going through the course. So if you see it plunging a little bit, maybe you want to get in there and motivate them or go over concepts by lecturing a little bit. And you can also drill down to individual student level. You can also customize your course. There are features that you can turn on and off. So for example, if you don't want your students to go too far ahead, you can lock part of the content. Or if you're using the year-long course and just want to teach it for one semester, you can hide the rest of the content, the latter half of the content. You can add co-teachers, make assignments and give assignments, and do all sorts of things. And if you're using an LMS, you can integrate with Popfizz. So if you're using Moodle, Canvas, Schoology, or Google Classroom, you can have your students single sign on to Popfizz. So let's say that you're in Canvas, you link to Popfizz from Canvas, and students, what they're going to do is they're going to log into Canvas and then click on that link that you created. And without leaving Canvas, they can work on Popfizz on Canvas. If you want to talk to other teachers, have questions, or have something that you really want to show off, this is the place. We have a Geek Out forum, and it's open and available for all teachers on our site. So please check it out. If you are looking for a kit, we provide them for you. And this is our free PD course. And this course is it's a pretty interesting course. We developed it for Orange County Department of Education. This course, it addresses the content and pedagogical challenges of teaching computer science with emphasis on culturally responsive teaching. And the attendees will explore algorithmic biases and learn about artificial intelligence and machine learning. There's also a hands-on component where you will use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Google's Teachable Machine to train an AI and share it with the world. So this course is open. Feel free to enroll. All right, so from here on, we're going to jump onto Popfizz, and then I'll give you a tour. And the URL is popfizz.io. If you haven't signed up yet, feel free to do so. Now, let's take a look at our courses, and the place you want to go is the curriculum tab. So here they are. You can select any course and enroll, add it to your dashboard. And just a reminder, so the completely 100% accessible free courses are listed under mini courses. So there are Intro to CS, Physical Computing with Microbit, Python Turtle Graphics, 3D graphics using JavaScript, and the Spanish version of the Turtle. find the course that you like and then add it to your dashboard. So click on it, and then because I'm already logged in and I already have this course added, I have go to dashboard button, but you'll see something else in there. All right, so I'm going to go to the dashboard. Here I am. Let's take a look at the Python Turtle Graphics course. It's a Halloween icon there. I don't know if you saw that. It's a bouncing bat. Here is the interface. So we begin with a little bit of history about Turtle Graphics, how it came about, how it started with a robot, and then later on was put into a software environment. Since then, oh, thank you, Megan. So since then, it's been loved by many, many teachers and educators out there. It's a great tool to learn how to program in text-based languages. Let's take a look at our embedded IDE. So this is our editor. And to make the screen a little wider, I'm going to tuck away the menu. And here it is. I already did this assignment. But let me delete it and then start over. Okay. To use the Turtle library, I need to import it. And we do talk about this in the course, what it means to import. And then we're going to create that Turtle object and give it a name, Pat. From the Turtle library, let's create that Turtle object. And then now I get to control Pat using Pat's name. Pat, move forward. And just to make this a little more interesting, I'm gonna get rid of this R here and intentionally make an error. And you might wanna do this with your students also. Show them how to read errors and troubleshoot. So here it is, attribute error. No such attribute as forward on line 5. So it's missing that R. So run again, and there we go. And then keep going through the units. So we have different types of questions and lots of projects. And let's take a look at the turtle loops. So we get into these concepts early on. Here's a video that the students can watch. Let's take a look at another project and see how we can look at students' work. All right, once again, I'm gonna tuck in that content menu. And here is the project. So this is a starter code. And there's pretty much nothing happening here because I haven't attempted anything, but I can see how my students are doing by clicking on this roster button. So once I click on it, I see a list of all my students. We had the situation where we have 145 students in one single section. And so if you have a situation like that and you want to toggle through the ones that are having problem, just from this drop down, select need improvement, and this will pull up all the students with the red icon, meaning that they got this wrong. And for this question, the yellow means that the students made an attempt and they made a submission. So we want to take a look at those. So that is the need reviews. And as you can see, all the yellow icons got pulled to the top. So let's see how Grace Hopper is doing. Okay, run. Looking great. All right. So because Grace got this correct, I'm just going to put good. And I don't want to inflate my grades by giving everyone excellent. So I'll just put good in there. Save, and my grade is logged. And as you can see, the icon color has changed. Next is Carly. All right, let's see how Carly did. Looking good. All right, another good there. Save. And then let's see how Kathy did. All right, Kathy, run. Ooh, looking a little weird there, right? So it looks like the angle is wrong. And for grading these open-ended projects, you don't have to worry about what kind of input you need to give your students because they're all provided for you in the resources page. So if you go to the resources tab, which I'll show you later, you'll have all the solution guides loaded there. So all you have to do is find the question, right? So this question is 215. So 215 is what I need to look up. And here is 215 right there. So here's the question, right? And the solution guide. And here's a little section that says common errors, right? It says case 1, pat.write 60. So instead of Pat turning 60 degrees, Pat has to turn 120 degrees. So this is one of the common errors that students make, right? They see the turtle from top down and assume that, making that interior angle turn would make sense. However, they have to make the exterior angle turn. And we have a response for that. All you have to do is copy what's here and then paste it in to the comments. And you can say, need improvement. And if you'd like to give a little more hints there, you can also copy what's in the answer sheet, the solution guide, paste it in. This case, I'm just going to give her pat.write 120 right away. And instead of just pasting it in, I can use the code formatter. So this would make it look nice, especially if you have long lines of code. So paste your code in there and then select the language, Python, okay. And then once you're done, save, and your feedback is logged right here. And Kathy will be able to see this. All right, so that is the roster feature. And one of the things that you can do with the roster feature is to actually troubleshoot the code together in class. So if you're okay with putting a student on the spot, or if they volunteer, right, you can actually have their project open, screencast this if you're on Zoom or on Google Hangouts or Meets, and go there and screencast it, troubleshoot together with your class, have them guess what's wrong and fix it together. And whatever you do here, it's not going to affect Kathy's submission. So it fixed it, right? If I refresh the window, it's going to go right back to what Kathy submitted. So Kathy actually has to go in and make that change. So I'm going to go back to my view. So I'm now back to the teacher's view. And here I see a feature on the top that says assign to LMS. So this is an option that you can use to share this particular task on your LMS. So here are the features. Copy what you need and then paste it in and it'll work. Let's go to the management side. So that's the course. And to go to the management side, you can get there by going to the dashboard and then going to management, or you can just click on this gear icon in the corner. And here we are. And here's the progress view. You can see how your students are doing as the whole class from this view. You can go to units to drill down to individual students. If you see any reds, this student will need to resubmit. Yellow meaning you'll have to check. And let's go to settings. So let's say that you have multiple sections. You can rename your classroom. You can even call this something else. And then add your description. And if you want to make your course super challenging, turn off hints, turn off explanations, and you can also add up to 3 co-teachers to this course. All right, and then here is the enrollment tab. This is how you would enroll your students. There are multiple ways of doing this. So the easiest way is if you're using Google Classroom, click on Google Classroom. This will let you import your roster with just a few clicks. And also, if you are using Canvas or other tools, and you have the function or ability to download your roster, this is the way to go. So click on send an email, and let me show you how that's done. So I'm gonna pull up my Excel sheet that has email addresses. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna copy everything that's in this column, and then click on send an email, paste it all in, and then send. And students will get this join link, and they'll be able to get to the course right away this way. All right, so once you have them all loaded, they'll show up here. And let's go to the resources area. So this is where you can find all your solution guides. Click on it, and you will be able to see the resources that look like this. So you can easily toggle to the individual questions and see solution guides, and you can take some of this to use it for lecturing. All right, access. So this is where you can turn parts of your course on and off. I'm going to turn off Unit 4. Save it for later. All right, so with a click of a button, I just hit that whole section. And for this course, we don't have assignments and exams loaded, but for other courses, you'll see that there are preloaded assignments that you can release with a click of a button. And one more thing that I want to show you here is this button in the corner. So we take great pride in our support. So you may have noticed that our response time is less than 5 minutes. If you get stuck, feel free to talk to us here.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And, as a recap, our free courses, we have 4 of them. And then, yeah, you can access our other courses that are 35% free right now. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you are.
Yes, thank you so much. And if you haven't yet, please follow us at
Popfizz CS. I will link that right now in the chat.
Okay, thank you, because that's where we announce all our free stuff and events.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you, everyone.